welcome you guys. Today's an exciting day because we get to share all about the good that we get to do in the world. You can't outgive a giver. This is one of my favorite, concepts that I've taken away into my adulthood, from childhood, is you can't outgive the giver. And a lot of us are doing really well in our tutoring businesses. We have the opportunity to give back. But even if you're not where you want to be financially, you don't have to wait until you have a certain amount of money in order to give, right? We can be giving even in smaller amounts, to amazing organizations that are doing really great things and making an impact on the world. And so today I have Morgan Dickerson with me, and she's going to be sharing all about the organization we partnered with, which is Build On, which is going to help us with building our school in Guatemala. Now, this lady is brilliant, you guys. She came up with this idea of creating a virtual school that she's going to be sharing with you guys soon, where you're going to be able to actually see this building kind of go up before your eyes. And I can't wait for you guys to learn more. So without further ado, we've got Morgan. Woo! Hello, Morgan.
Hello, thank you so much for having me, and thank you to this amazing community for all the work that you're doing supporting education where you are, but also now globally and in Guatemala. You guys are incredible, and it's an honor to be able to work with you.
Yay!
So I am here with Bill Dunn, and I'm just gonna share my screen. Is that all set up and going, Joanne?
Yep, you see it perfectly.
Okay, perfect. I've got a little presentation to go through, just letting you guys know about Build On, the organization, what we do, what we stand for, and also how you guys can get involved. So before I get too far into that, I just want to introduce myself. So my name is Morgan Dickerson. I am the Community Engagement Manager here at Build On, supporting teams like yours who are working to fundraise and build schools globally. I stepped into this position just this past summer, so just a few months now, but I've been part of the Build On family for a much longer time. Back when I was in college, there was a Build On chapter at my university, the University of Delaware, and we were called to fundraise and build a school in West Africa, in Burkina Faso. So that was my first introduction to Build On. And while I went through that process, I just fell in love with the organization, with the people, with the mission. I got to go to Burkina Faso, which is a country in West Africa, to help build a school. And this is something I don't have to tell you guys, something that's so powerful, and education really has the power to bring people out of poverty. While I was on that trek, I met up with another group, a group of adults who were interested in the same things. And they had since invited me to join them on their next couple treks. So I also went to Malawi and Nepal with them to build schools there as well. And finally, when I personally was moving from the East Coast to the West Coast, I was looking for a way to get involved and get connected to my community. So I called on my colleagues at my job at the time to get a group together, just like Joanne is doing with you all, to build another school. And that time we went to Nicaragua. So as you can tell, I have been all over the world with this organization because I love it so much. And like I said, I just fell in love with the mission, the people, the work that we do. And as I talk about that mission, I figured I should let you know what that is. Our mission statement is to break the cycle of poverty, illiteracy, and low expectations through service and education. And one way we do that is by building schools in developing countries around the world. Now, why it matters. I don't think I need to tell this group of people why education is important and why it matters. But one statistic that I learned since joining Build On was that 750 million people around the world are unable to read and write. And I learned that, and I just sat with that for a minute and just think and reflect on that for a minute. If you're unable to read, yes, you won't be able to read your favorite book, but you also can't read the directions on your medication telling you, do I need to take this with food or without food, every 4 hours, every 8 hours? You can't read directions in order to get you someplace. just, again, sit with that and think about that for a minute. And if you're unable to write, yeah, you won't be able to write a birthday card for your friend or something like that, but you may not even be able to write your own name and sign your own name, and think about the power that holds, opening bank accounts, signing official documents, things like that. And then taking that thinking a step further, I reflected back on my own experience and how did I learn how to read and write? And yes, absolutely, I learned in school, but I also had my parents, supporting me. And I think a lot of us had our parents, our grandparents, reading to us at night when we were a kid, or encouraging us or helping us doing our homework. And I don't think I would have been as successful or motivated if I didn't have them in that. So that's what we mean by that cycle of poverty, in that if your parents are unable to read and write, what are your chances in order to be able to learn how to read and write? So again, I'm preaching to the choir here. You guys know the importance of education, and you're living that in every aspect of your life, which is so admirable. And again, why does it matter? It's because these are some of the school structures that the communities we work with are currently using. Take a look at this one in the top right corner. Look how small that is. Could you imagine having, 50 students, shoved into that classroom? This one's completely out in the open. How distracting would that be if just a motorcycle, goes through that road right behind it? This one in the bottom middle doesn't have any windows. Think how hot that one would get. And up on the top left, they have only windows. Think about if it's, rains, you're out in the cold there. And if a student in one of these communities would want to get to a proper school building, they may have to walk, 30 or so minutes a day. There are some communities that we work in that there's not a proper school building for 5 kilometers. And I always think, I don't even want to run a 5K.
Right.
let alone walk that distance to go to a school. So if you had to jump through all of these hoops in order to go to school, how many students actually do? And what is the quality of education that they are getting? So that's where this team comes in and this group comes in, because you guys have the power to help fund and build schools like these for students around the world to have a quality education in order to help better their lives and the lives of their families. So globally, we work to mobilize communities in some of the most economically poor countries in the planet. And we do that by, building schools, fighting illiteracy, and bringing children back to the classroom. We have these 3 programs that we run. Building schools, exactly how it sounds, and what you guys are empowered to go out and do. We have our Enroll program, which works to bring school students or children who aren't going to school back into the classroom. So we work with community leaders to identify the barriers to education, whether that be financially, families don't have the funds in order to pay for the uniform, whether that be attitude-wise, parents don't understand the importance of education, or whether that be out of necessity. Parents need the kids to stay home in order to help farm or in order to help take care of other children. We help to identify those barriers and then develop strategies to overcome them so students can get back into the classroom.
That's awesome.
Yes. And we also have the third kind of program that we run globally is our adult literacy program, where in the evenings, adults, parents and grandparents of the children going to school during the day will come to those classrooms in the evenings to learn how to read, write, do basic arithmetic, but also the curriculum in order to do so is kind of built around business skills and health and entrepreneurship and environmentalism and things like that. So we work in 8 countries around the world, and you can see that on the map here. The countries that we're working with are, some of the ones that we've identified have the greatest need, and we knew that we would have the greatest impact. And I know this team's interested in supporting Guatemala and eventually traveling to Guatemala to help build that school. So we have a methodology here at Build On, because we believe that the work that we do needs to be sustainable and it needs to be responsible. So if you've checked out any of our website, any of our social media presence, anything like that, you've probably heard us talking about being a movement, not a charity. You've probably heard us talking about empowering others, not giving handouts. And you've probably heard us talking about building a school with a community, not for a community. So this is kind of our methodology. And before we even begin working with a community internationally, we have them agree to a couple things. First and foremost, the community will agree to providing the land that the school is built on, manual volunteer days where they're working on the school, local material like sand, gravel, and water. And we, Build On agrees to provide the funds, the skilled labor, and all things like that. So here on the left, you can see we have a covenant signing. Again, before we even begin breaking ground on this school, the entire community and the entire Build On team will agree to this. We also set up a project leadership committee, and this consists of 6 men and 6 women to oversee the project. So they'll do things like coordinating with Build On, setting up the volunteer work schedule, things like that. And this is pretty powerful because this could be some of the first time that women are stepping up into a leadership role and have this formal leadership role, which is, a really powerful thing to see. And then the last part of our methodology is that we're committed to educating girls. So 50% of the students attending the Build On school that we help build must be girls. And this can be a pretty radical thing in some of the communities that we work with, because girls are pulled out of the classroom to support with their families so frequently. But we all know if you educate a girl, you educate a nation. So we know that importance, and we try to help instill that in the communities that we work with as well. So I wanted to give you just some high level, figures illustrating the impact that we've been able to have. So Build On has been around for about 30 years, and in those years, we have built over 2,000 schools globally. This past year was about 220 of them, and we've got that goal for next year as well. Community members around the world have put in over 3 million volunteer work days. Again, they're just as committed to this project as we are, and they're putting in that. They're just as excited about this project as we are, and they're putting in that work just as we are. And we have over 250,000 children, parents, and grandparents attending schools. So I'm going to take a pause there and let some of that information sink in. Joanne, I don't know if there are any questions there, or you let me know when you want to start talking about what we're doing together and how this community can join us.
Yeah, so we actually had somebody, Malia, who said that she's from Alaska. She tutors math, and she's so excited about this because she actually served a mission trip for her church in Honduras, and she made friends that were from Guatemala. So she's super excited about this, and
that's incredible.
I know, isn't that awesome? So
I love that you guys are bringing together people all over the world.
Yes.
And it makes the world a little bit smaller. And something like this, coming together for something so important like this bonds people in such a unique way. So I'm so excited about this for your community.
It really does. And we're doing great. We've got a good start here, guys. We've got so far $2,650 raised, which is fantastic. And obviously we need a few more dollars to be able to raise. And we've got lots of opportunities to do that. And we were talking about I was shared about at the very beginning the amazing virtual school that Morgan, she actually created this, you guys, for us. How awesome is this? Take a look at this. Tell us how you came up with this idea, Morgan.
Yeah, absolutely. So somebody asked me, like, how many bricks does it take to build a school? And I'm like, I have no idea. A lot. And I reached out to our team in Guatemala and I asked, the ones on the ground buying the bricks for us so that they know, somebody knows how many bricks it takes. And the answer to that question is it takes about 1,440 bricks in order to build a build-on school in Guatemala. It also costs about $36,000 to build that school. And what I did was I said, okay, if that's the situation, it costs about $25 a brick in order to get a school built. So we've got this awesome fundraiser going on. For every $25 that you donate, you can color in a brick here in our virtual school. And there are, I counted 1,440 bricks here in your virtual school. And you can choose whatever color, you can make a pre-design, you have that brick. So we're empowering you guys to go for every $25 that you donate to the professional freelance educators page, you have the opportunity to color in a brick on your virtual school. And this is so cool because you'll be able to watch the virtual school get built. And once you do so, once this school is built, you're going to go into the field and actually build a school. So you'll get to watch two schools being built. First one, our virtual, and then our real one.
It's so funny. I'm such a rule follower that I didn't even think that I could put the bricks in any place on there. That I just I kept going with the bricks at the same way that you put the bricks on there. But you guys, you can get creative. You can put your bricks on there any way that you want to.
Yeah. If someone wants to color in the entire B, you can take that B and build on. If you want to color in the entire O and build on, you take all of that. You make your donations, you color it in however you want.
Yes, I love it.
Absolutely.
How cool is this? So Beth just came up with a cool statistic. She said if 10% of our community bought a brick, we'd be able to build this in record time. Wow.
Oh my gosh, that may actually be record time from our side as well.
There's so many possibilities.
Everybody does that, yes.
Yeah, if everybody just did that, like, holy cow, that would be like the quickest build up, ever. Yeah. And you guys, so if you take a look at the links inside of YouTube, there's a link underneath the video, and inside of Facebook, there's a link inside of there if you're watching us on Facebook. There's a link for you guys. If you just want to go on in and start donating and buying a brick, you can do that. You can buy one brick, you can buy two bricks. There's no limit to how many bricks you want to buy. And then there's also a link to this document where you're going to be able to color it on in. Now, I'm also doing something in addition to this, and that is we have a conference in January, January 6th to the 10th. It is called Impact. And some of you guys, you've already signed on up. Awesome. If you haven't signed up, sign up. Just go to onlinetutorcoach.com/impact. The next page after the sign up page is, hey, would you like access to all the replays? I know sometimes there can be so many people that are speaking, you can't make it to every single time, and having access to the replays would be really valuable for you. Anybody who decides to buy the replays, which are $47 before the conference, it's the cheapest it's going to be, all of that money gets donated to Build On. So imagine if you even just getting something that's going to add value to your business can help with building this school. So you can absolutely do that. And the links are inside of, again, that chat. So if you can find those links in the description, put them on inside of the chat so people can see that as well. That would be awesome. So this is so cool. I'm so excited about this. I love this.
Absolutely. And so Joanne just gave a couple ways that you can donate to help join the cause and join the movement. You can also help fundraise. So we have this professional freelance educators team page all built up. If you're hearing this and you want to do even more to support and to help build this school, you can just select join team right here, and then you'll get your own little bubble here under your team members. So you'll have your own kind of individual fundraising page within the team page, and this is really great if you're hearing this and you're like, oh, my school would love to be involved, or my family would love to hear more about this, or I want to commit to giving $1 from each tutoring session that I have to this school, or whatever percentage of my monthly income to this school. You can do so on your own individual fundraising page, so you can keep track and monitor that support, and that all goes towards the total of this school. And then the last thing that I want to chat about, one like the biggest way you can join this team and this movement is by joining Joanne and this team on Trek. So after, like I said, after we build the virtual school and get the funding, secured for the school in Guatemala, you all have the opportunity to travel to Guatemala on our Trek program in order to work alongside the community members to get the school built. And this is an incredibly life-changing adventure. I mean, you heard my story. It changed my life going on Trek, flash forward 7-8 years, and now I'm here working for Build On. It's just an incredible experience. In the mornings, you'll work on the work site. So up here, they're doing a morning, circle where they do morning stretches, lay out the goals for the day, do any training on how to use the tools or do the tasks that are needed. You'll be digging holes, digging the foundation in order to get it all started. Again, alongside the community members, mixing concrete, carrying water and sand and brick, all these things. Actually, it's hard work, but it's rewarding work. Because, with your own bare hands, or, you'll be wearing gloves, they won't be bare. With your own hands, you'll be able to build this school. And then in the afternoons, you get to partake in different cultural activities. And these are always fun ways to learn about, the way of life and the culture of the community that you're working in. So it could be things like baking bread, donuts, or cookies, learning how to fish or farm from the community members, having conversations with, village chiefs or traditional healers or, group of women, doing fun things like playing with the kids, teaching them some of our, childhood games and letting them teach us some of them. It all varies based on what community you're in, but the whole point is to be fully immersed in the community. So that's kind of like, one of the biggest ways you can get involved, with this project and with this team.
And I'm going, guys. So you get to hang out with me, and you get to hang out with the people that decide they want to go and they want to get hands-on and get their hands dirty and dig and be involved in this. This is just something I've always been called to do. Not always, but when I left the school system, I had this vision from God, and it was that I was going to build a school, and I was like freaking out because I was like, me? Build a school? Like, I don't want to be an administrator. I already did the administrator stuff. I don't like that. And like, I kind of freaked out at like what he was calling me to do, and I didn't really understand. And as time went on, I mean, I started envisioning where I was going to build a school, like near my house and all of that, because I'm a planner, I'm a doer. If you tell me to do something, I'm going to do it. But I just couldn't get over the hows and what I was going to do. And then all of a sudden, the voice came to me, like, you're building a virtual school online. Like, you're building this school that you're going to be able to help kids, and then you're going to be able to help teachers and all of this kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And I thought that was the end of the calling, the end of the discussion. Got it. And then I was at a conference about 2 months ago, and the next level of instructions came for me. And that was, no, you're literally going to be building a school. And I didn't know where this school was going to be. I had you guys choose it. I said, I have no idea where we should build it. Here are the choices. And you guys said Guatemala. And I was like, all right, that's where it's going to be. It's going to be Guatemala. And so this is we're on that third stage of me trying to figure out, where am I going to build this in my local area? And what am I going to do? And how am I going to? No, that was not the direction. I'm really impacting a lot of people online, to we're literally all going to come together and build this school. So I'm very, very excited to have you guys join us on this journey, be a part of it. And any way that you can give, if you can give $25, like Beth said, that's only 1,440 bricks. We've got over 10,500 people just in the Ultimate Support Group. I mean, it really doesn't take that much in order to do that. So awesome stuff. And I'm just so glad that you were able to come here and share your role with Build On and how you became so excited about it. And then just your ingenuity with building the virtual school. Like, yeah, bring it. That was awesome. When I saw that, it just got me like re-fired up. I was like, this is awesome. This is something that we can put in front of our community and make it tangible and make them see like what it looks like that we're doing and really make an impact. So thank you for everything that you do with the organization and making these things happen.
Absolutely, absolutely. I always tell teams, it's my job to support you, my full-time job. Anything you need that I can do to support you in realizing your goal and your dreams of building this school, that's what I'm here to support. So I am so grateful to you, Joanne, and for bringing us together, and for this entire amazing community that you've built, for kind of rallying around this mission, our shared mission of using education as a tool to raise people out of poverty.
Yeah.
So it's so incredible, the work that you guys are doing and the work that we're doing together. And I'm honored to be a part of it. And I'm happy to be here supporting you guys.
Oh, that's awesome. And Janice said, I would love to go. And Janice, I would love to have you come with us. That would be awesome.
Yes.
So thanks you guys for joining us today. That is our mission. You're going to keep hearing about this until we raise the money, because
Until the school is built.
Until the school is built. So this is really a good cause, you guys. That's really going to make an impact. And remember that if you decide to go for the all access impact pass, then all that money gets donated right to this cause as well. So that's another way that you can be a part of it. So thanks for joining us today, you guys. It's been amazing. And